students, I am Ms. Mogna Sundari from the Department of Chemistry. In this video, we are going to discuss chapter 4, Water. So the learning objectives of this chapter are purification of water, water the universal solvent, and the types of solution. So let us see what is water purification. So rivers, tanks, canals, wells, groundwater, these are the main sources of water we already know. But the water from these sources is usually contaminated with some impurities and some microorganisms. So we have to clean this water before using. So for that we are purifying the water by some process that is called water purification process. So in order to kill some microorganisms which affect the human beings as well as animals, so we have to purify the water. We all know water is an important thing to all living organisms. So up to 60% of the human body is water. So the quality of the drinking water is very important. So we have to make germ free our drinking water. So to purify the water, a water treatment plant is needed. So in water treatment plant, there are various tanks present in there in order to purify the water. So we are allowing a raw water into the tanks, and that raw water gets treated by some particular method, and then it finally gives a drinking water, that is a potable water. So that is the main thing of water treatment plant. So this is the general setup of water treatment plant. That is, the water from the source, that is reservoir, is allowed to sedimentation tank, loading tank, filtration tank, chlorination tank, and then to our home, that is storage tank. So let us see one by one. Sedimentation tank. So the water or the wastewater is allowed to make it in the sedimentation tank. So the wastewater or water in the sedimentation tank is made to stand for some time. During that time, the many insoluble substances present in the water are settled down, start settling down. So this is the first way of purifying the water. So a layer will be formed at the bottom of the sedimentation tank. So that is called a sludge. We can remove that sludge periodically. So the first step in the sedimentation tank is we are allowing the suspended particles to settle down. So let us see the next one, loading tank. In loading tank, the same process is going to happen, but we are going to add some coagulants like alum. So alum makes the suspended particles to heavy. That means that suspended particles clump together with alum, and then it gets deposited in the bottom. That is, it is also a sedimentation process by the help of alum. So in loading tank, the remaining impurities, remaining particles which is suspended, gets deposited in the bottom of the tank. So the remaining water is allowed to filtration tank. In filtration tank, there are 3 layers. So the fine sand layer at the top, and the coarse sand layer in the middle, and the gravel at the bottom, that is tiny stones. So there are 3 layers in the filtration tank. So these 3 layers act as a filters. So when water passes through these 3 layers made up of sand and gravel, the suspended particles, even the very small suspended particles, also get removed from this filters. So during the process of water purification, the water which comes to the filtration tanks has been removed from the impurities and suspended particles. After the filtration tank, it allows to chlorination tank. So by the filtration tank, all the remaining suspended particles are get removed and some impurities also gets removed. So now the water passes to the chlorination tank. So chlorination is the process of adding chlorine to the water to kill the germs. So chlorine is added in a particular amount to kill the germs and make germ-free water. So different processes can be used to achieve safe levels of chlorine in drinking water, because while adding the chlorine we should be very careful and conscious. If we added excess amount of chlorine, it will be cause some effect to us while we drink. So we should be in the safe level of adding the chlorine. Next, after this process, sedimentation, loading, filtration and chlorination, the water is supplied to the storage tank. That is, now the water is free from impurities and germs. So we can store in a storage tank. From the storage tank, so we can see a huge tank in our area. So that is storage tank. From that storage tank, the water is supplied to our homes by the pipes. Okay, after the storage tank, that means after it purified from, we have lots and lots of steps, but we are not sure about there is no germs. So in our home also we can purify it further by the process of filtering, boiling, chlorination. So first see filtering. So we can fit an electric water filter, that is RO, to remove the solid particles present in tap water. And also we can use UV radiations to kill the harmful microorganisms. UV radiation means ultraviolet radiations. So by the filtering process we can get a water which is absolutely safe for drinking. So we can attach the system directly to the tap. And the next one is boiling. So while we boiling the water, it is made absolutely germ free. That is, we can drink the water very safely. So that is very safe method, and there will be no impurities or no microorganisms in the water. So while we boiling the water at 100 degrees Celsius, all the microorganisms present which is harmful to us are killed and made absolutely safe. So our household method is boiling to purify the water. Apart from that filtering and boiling, chlorination also one of the process. So we store water in our water tank, which is made to set in the terrace. So by adding some chlorine tablets or like bleaching powder is also a calcium oxychloride, that is a chlorine content. So bleaching powder is also added to the water in order to kill the microorganism which is harmful. But we have to use only specified amount, we should not use excess amount. Okay, now see the next topic, water, the universal solvent. Why we are called water as a universal solvent? Because water is capable of dissolving more substances than any other liquid. So this is very important for every living thing. So that's why we are calling water as a universal solvent. So this allows the water molecule to become attracted to many other different types of water molecules, many other different types of substance. So this water dissolves lots of substances, and hence we will call it as a universal solvent. Now let us see what is solute and what is solvent. The substance which is dissolved in solvent is called solute. But solvent is a substance which dissolves the another substance, that is called solvent. So the substance in which the another substance is dissolved is called a solvent. So in this picture we can able to see a solute, solvent and solution. So we are adding solute to the solvent and it gets dissolved to form a solution. So if we are adding sugar, means the sugar is called solute, and we are adding in water means that water is called solvent, and finally we get some particular thing that is called solution. So now we can get sugar solution. So that is the thing, a solute on dissolving in a solvent forms a solution. Not only sugar, there is lots of things get dissolved in water. So for example, salt is a solute and water is a solvent, and both together dissolved forms salt solution. So generally solute will be in smaller quantity than the solvent, and solvent may be water or alcohol or ethanol, but the main universal solvent is water. Apart from water, alcohol is also one of the solvent. Okay, what is aqueous solution? Aqueous solution means a solution which is made by water, that is called aqueous solution. We are preparing a salt solution, sugar solution means we are mixing that solute to the water. So likewise, aqueous solution means a solution which there is a solvent water. So that is called aqueous solution. So water acts an important solvent in our human body also. So it helps to transport nutrients, it absorbs the nutrients, it removes the wastages like in waterway. So water is very important, and it is act as a very useful solvent in our body. Now let us see the types of solution. There are three types of solution: saturated solution, unsaturated solution, supersaturated solution. Okay, first, saturated solution. A solution with solute that dissolves until it is unable to dissolve anymore. That is, we are taking one solvent and we are adding solute to that. So at particular time we cannot add more solute. So that solution is called saturated solution. We cannot unable to dissolve any more solute to that solution. That is called saturated solution. Unsaturated solution means the amount of solute will be less. So a solution that completely dissolves, leaving no remaining substance, that is called unsaturated solution. And the final one is supersaturated solution. A solution that contains more undissolved solute than the saturated solution because of its tendency to crystallize and precipitate. That is, we know what is saturated solution. That means a particular level of solvent, particular amount of solvent, it gets mixed with the particular level of solute, so that that solution is completely dissolved, so that we cannot add any more solute into that solution. But we are adding excess amount of solute means it forms supersaturated solution, so that that solvent cannot dissolve anymore, so that solute gets deposited in the bottom of that beaker or anything. So it cannot able to dissolve, so it make a precipitate, or it will be form some crystals, so it starts crystallizing. So that is called supersaturated solution. So just see an example for supersaturation. A single crystal of sodium acetate is added to supersaturated solution of sodium acetate in water, causes the excess solute to rapidly crystallize from the solution. That means now we prepared a saturated solution, but I'm adding sodium acetate more. That means I'm adding excess amount of solute to that solution. At particular time it starts crystallizing. That means that sodium acetate cannot able to dissolve in that solution. That means it cannot able to dissolve in that solvent. There is no space to dissolve. So that is called supersaturated solution. It may be in the form of crystals, or it may be in the form of precipitates. So this is a clear picture of unsaturated, saturated and supersaturated solution. So unsaturated solution means there will be less amount of solute. Saturated solution means we cannot add no more solute to that solvent. Supersaturated solution means it becomes unstable, so it will be form crystals or it forms some precipitate at the bottom. So if we add excess amount of solute to the solvent means it forms some crystals and precipitate. Thank you students. I hope you understood this chapter.